Welcome to Books in Sum, your go-to for bite-sized book summaries.
Love Worth Making by Stephen Snyder. This book discusses how to achieve long-lasting erotic connection in a committed partnership. It explains how to take care of your sexual self within the emotional landscape of a relationship, how simmering helps keep sexual energy alive, why sexual generosity needs to be balanced by selfishness, and why it's important to stand your ground in a relationship. It also explains that sex can be summed up as friction plus fantasy, but couples who have tried and failed to reignite their desire know that there's more to it than that. Finally, it explains that the key message is that reaching true arousal is possible once you've learned how to nurture your sexual self. Carmen, who couldn't feel anything during sex with her husband Scott, became fixated on the worry that there was something wrong with her. The author suggested that Carmen do two things to set the mood for herself: ask Scott not to try to make her climax and stay on the couch. The next week, Carmen reported that their couch sex was more erotic, but she was still distressed. The author told her that she wasn't doing anything wrong, but the belief that she was damaged had garnered a lot of power over the years. Carmen gave herself an orgasm for the first time with her hands a few weeks later, and during sex with Scott, she was able to hold on to her arousal and climax in her husband's arms. Sex should never feel like work, and the sexual self is vulnerable and selfish, so it can't hide its feelings or pretend. Jill was deeply ashamed of the fantasy she used to climax during sex with her husband Peter, which was about a wicked man locking her up. After some discussion, she and the author realized that her fantasy was all about attention and was likely a result of feeling neglected as a child. Sex therapy is about embracing what already feels easy and natural, and the author suggested she try being kind to her sexual self if her arousal diminished. The following week, Jill and Peter had wonderful sex, and Jill was able to enjoy it. Women need to feel pursued in order to feel desired, and there are many exceptions to any generalization about male or female desire. The author has found that the erotic differences between men and women still cause problems for straight couples. When Rob and Melissa were first married, Rob stopped initiating sex and Melissa felt like he didn't want her anymore. The author used an unusual example of rat foreplay to illustrate this rule of the heart for Rob. A female rat flashes her rear end at a male rat until she decides he's chased her enough and lets him have her. This is a problem that plagues many marriages. Once the husband feels secure, he stops chasing his wife. To get their long-term partners to pursue them, the author suggests that a woman simply educate her male partner on her need to feel desired. Simmering is an effective way to maintain a good erotic climate in a relationship, and it's ideal if the man simmers the woman more often. Grabbing her passionately demonstrates his desire, and don't worry if it doesn't work. Identifying sex knots gives couples the chance to reconnect and try a new approach. David and Gwen's sex knot was an example of a situation that arises when our sexual selves don't respond the way we want them to, and we react in ways that make it worse. Gwen and David's sex knot went like this. When they first moved in together, Gwen started criticizing David more, and he responded by feigning confidence and waiting for his hurt feelings to pass. This made Gwen angry, so she criticized him more, and David withdrew even further, leading to Gwen assuming David didn't desire her anymore. When David landed in the author's office, he and Gwen were tightly bound in the worst stage of their sex knot. He didn't feel welcome with Gwen, so he stopped wanting her anymore. Women especially need to feel desired, and when a woman no longer feels desired, she'll stop giving her partner signs that he's welcome. When Gwen and David first met, David was brimming with enthusiasm and made her feel special. However, once they started living together, his attitude toward her shifted from rapt to aloof. Gwen wondered if David might have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. When David started treatment for ADHD, he became happier and more eager to reconnect with his wife, but Gwen seemed depressed. Despite this, the author had hope and encouraged them to stand their ground. They advocated for their own needs in front of their partner, and the author asked them about sex. David confessed that their foreplay always felt a bit rushed, and Gwen admitted that she hurried through it because she was worried he'd lose focus. David reassured Gwen that he wasn't going anywhere, and that he wanted to enjoy her if she'd let him. Sarina and Joe, a lesbian couple in their 50s, had met with the author at the beginning of their relationship, and he helped them work through a small problem. However, many years later, after they had married and had children, Sarina had lost all interest in sex. This was due to Sarina's passive-aggressive sex drive, which caused her to pick fights and be uninterested in sex the whole trip. Therapists refer to this as treating an immediate cause, but often there's a deeply rooted remote cause that will continue to stir up trouble until it's healed. Remote causes manifest when people unconsciously try to get their partners to join them in a reenactment of a drama from their childhood that they don't fully understand. Serena, who had experienced neglect from her parents, was reenacting that neglect with Joe. The remote cause was that both women never really knew they deserved to feel wanted. A coin toss decided that Serena would lie in bed and Joe would touch her first. When Serena felt a deep sadness, she let herself be carried by the current of sadness. Joe, meanwhile, was getting slightly aroused. Serena sensed Joe's arousal, found herself aroused as well, and gave herself to Joe. Good sex in a relationship is all about paying attention, without judgment, to the erotic moment. The key message in these book bites is that if your sexual self is rebelling, don't force it to do something it doesn't want to do. Instead, practice acceptance. If you hit a rough patch in your relationship, try to sit with feelings of sadness or disappointment rather than panic. Don't give ANTs your emotional attention, as they capture your attention and make it difficult to stay in the present erotic moment. Many sex advice books recommend replacing ANTs with affirmations.
We hope you found this summary helpful in your listening journey. If you're interested in diving deeper into the topic or getting your hands on the whole book, be sure to check the description below where we've included links to the book and other related products that may be useful to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest book summaries. And feel free to leave a comment with any suggestions or requests for books you'd like us to cover. Thanks again for tuning in and happy listening.